Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I recreated this deep yoke design. If you're interested, please keep on watching. Here is my fabric is folded into two using the bust measurement I'm working with divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. Now for the length, I use the half length I'm working with plus extra 1 inch for allowance. Here I'm ruling out this point. We're going to cut that out. That is where our measurements are going to start. So from this folded end, I went in by 8 inches, which is half of the shoulder measurement that I'm working with. 16 divided by 2, making it 8. Then I went ahead to mark the armhole that I'll be using, which is 9 inches down. Now back at this folded end again, I went in by 3 inches, and then I came down by half inch on the armhole line, and then I connected in a slant, as you can see, to form the shoulder slope. Next, I got the midpoint of that armhole and I came in by half inch. I connected back to the shoulder point, and then using my armhole curve, I curved the rest of the armhole. Next, I went ahead to mark the yoke, which is going to be 7 inches from the shoulder. That's like part of the yoke, first of all. So I just marked 7 inches from the shoulder, which is what I'll be using, and then I ruled that out. Next, I'm marking the shoulder to nipple and then the shoulder to the under bust measurement. I'm going to connect those into a straight line as well. Next, I'm going to be marking the nipple to nipple measurement, which is the bust span measurement divided by 2 plus extra half inch. So here I'm using 4.5 inches. Bust span measurement is 8 divided by 2, 4 plus half, 4.5. So on this under bust point, I went in by 1.5 inch and I connected down to the half length. And then on the down part, I came in again by half inch and then I connected to the bust point. Sorry, it's not really clear. I'm going to link a video where I did this off the shoulder bustier for you to see. So next I made a curve, and then on the upper part I marked 1 inch out and half inch in, and I connected all the points to the bust point. Now I'm marking the neck line. I used 4.5 neck width and then 4 inches for the neck depth. I went ahead to curve the neckline, as you can see. So on that yoke line now, I marked half inch. First of all, I marked 0.75, but I found that too wide, so I reduced it to half inch, 0.5. So from the midpoint, I went in by 0.5 and I connected all the way to the down part, as you can see. Then I made a curve to connect the points together like so. Just blend the curve in like that. You can make it deeper however you want. So after that, it's time to cut. I'm starting with the shoulder slant, as you can see. Then I cut out the neckline, and then I go ahead to cut out the yoke all the way out, and then I will cut out the armhole for the yoke piece. We're going to keep that aside for now. Then we'll cut out the bustier all the way. I'm going to link a video where I have done this off the shoulder bustier. It's the same process. I see that this one is not quite clear. Please pardon me. So this is it for the front. We're going to go ahead and cut the back, but first let's cut out the yoke. So I have this lace piece. I folded it into two, as you can see. Next, I'm going to be adding half inch on the inside all the way, half inch all around that inner part, like so. And then we're going to cut the rest of the yoke piece. Is going to be the same as it is. We're adding half inch on this down part. We're going to use that to join it back to the upper bodice. So if this is your first time on this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. We upload sewing tutorials every single week. Please consider subscribing and also click on the notification bell so you do not miss any of our future videos. Thank you. So here now I have a piece of fabric. I folded it into two. I'm going to be using that to create like a modesty panel sort of to cover that area, seeing that the lace is transparent and not a lot of people want to wear it open like that. So I just placed it and cut from that point. So it's going to sit inside like so. So instead of hemming the upper part, I folded it over so I don't have to worry about finishing that raw edge. So for the back piece, I folded into two again using the bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 5. Here I marked 1.5 inch all the way down for the zip allowance, and then I went in by ½ inch on the lower part and I slanted out like so. I also went ahead from that zip line to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. I connected that to a straight line and then I marked the armhole, which I used 9 inches. Next off on that zip line again, I went in by 3 inches, and then on the armhole line I came down by ½ inch and I connected both points in a slant for the shoulder slope. On this lower part I marked 4.5 inches in from the zip allowance line, which is going to be the dart. That's where the dart is going to sit. Now I'm going to add a yoke to the back as well, so I came down by 7 inches, which is going to be the neck depth. The neck width is the same 4.5 like the front, so the yoke is going to sit on that 7 inches as well. So next I'm going to go on and mark the armhole. Same process, get the midpoint coming by ½ inch, connect to the shoulder line and then curve the rest of the armhole. So next now it's time to cut. Your back neckline doesn't have to be this deep, you can make it higher. That way you have your zip on it. I don't want my zip on the lace piece, so I made the back neckline deeper. Next off, I'm cutting out the back, cutting out that slant to help eliminate the zip bulge. Now I'm cutting out the yoke, so this is the part that's going to serve as the back yoke. Next up, I placed the yoke piece for the back again. I'm adding ½ inch on the lower part all the way like so, while we cut the rest of the yoke piece as it is. If you're still watching at this point, please click on the like button. Thank you so much. Next up is time to cut the lining. We're going to cut lining pieces for the front and the back, and then we will cut a part for the front, the breast part for the front. Now this is the center front piece. I placed the underbust point like so, and then I marked 7 inches up. I'm just tracing out the other shape like so, and then I'm going to use a curve to finish that up. Notice that I left out ½ inch. We're going to be joining the yoke to that part, so I took out ½ inch from the entire width that we have there, and we're going to be cutting 2 of that because the center front piece is into 2, as you can see. Next, for the sides is the same thing. We're going to start from the underbust point. We are going to measure up, place the underbust measurement on the underbust, and then locate 8 inches upwards, and then curve, trace out, and then on the inside I marked 4.5, which is the bust span measurement, and then I made a curve to connect all the points. We're going to place this again on another piece and cut. So what I do is make sure that if you're using the shiny side up, you should face each other, shiny side facing the shiny side, or the smooth side facing the smooth side. If not, you will have two of the same sides of the padding, which will not be very useful. So next, now we are going to iron this on the front piece like so. Notice that there's extra space. That is where we are going to join the yoke later on, and the pad sits on the underbust point. I also like to iron it from the right side because it glues faster that way. So we're going to repeat the same thing for the rest of the um, front pieces. That's the part that we need to pad, and then we move over to the next step. This is how this is going to sit, and then as usual we iron it from the right side and we're good to go. Next we're going to go join the side pieces like so, using half inch right sides together. Make sure you start from the down part all the way up. We'll do the same thing for the lining pieces. Now for the yoke, I'm going to be turning it with a skin tone net. Instead of using a bias tape on neckline, I'll be using this skin net to turn it out. The same for the back piece. That is the inner piece that is going to cover the cleavage area. This is the back yoke. We are going to use that skin net to do the same thing. Place it and then sew the neckline part of it with half inch. After that, this is what the front is looking like. This is the skin tone on the inside. You can always use a bias tape to finish the necklines for both the front and the back. Either ways, your neckline has to be finished before you move to this next step. So for the back, we are going to place it right sides together with the main fabric and then place our lining over it. And we're going to go sew the neckline and the zip side. The same for the second back piece. Place the yoke, place your lining over it on the right side and then sew the neckline and the zip side. For the front, we have joined the front pieces together already, so we're going to attach the yoke now, starting from the down part with this piece, modesty piece underneath, just to cover that place. We're going to sew it together like so all the way, and then sew the lining under it. That way the raw edges are concealed. I'm trimming off this excess on the upper part, which is very normal. See, the lining is going to sit over it like so. So we'll treat as one and just sew all the way out. So I've sewn one side as you can see, and this is how clean the inside is looking. See? So for the second piece now, we're going to place it, pin, use your pins if necessary. So once we pin it all the way to the end of the yoke or to the armhole point, like so, that's how you're going to sew. Then the lining piece, the right side of the lining will now be on the opposite side. It's like right side of the lining facing the right side of the main fabric with the yoke in between. After sewing, this is what we have, and this is what the inside looks like. Very clean. And this is the back. We're going to go now and add that to the back piece and also join the back piece together at the zip allowance point. So I marked 1 inch all the way down, which is going to be our zip allowance now, after we had used ½ inch to turn it out. For the dart, I came down from the shoulder to 10 inches, which is 1 inch above the bust point. And then for the dart width, it is the bust span measurement divided by 2 plus half. We used 4.5 here. And then on the lower part, we had already slanted the back of this back piece, so I'm using the notch I made earlier to mark the dart to that point. So we're going to go sew the zip line and then sew the dart in. After that, this is what we have. I went ahead now to mark my measurements. That's the bust measurement divided by 4 on the upper part, and then the waist measurement divided by 4 on this down part. Note that the measurements are starting from the zip line. The zip allowance is not included. So from that zip line, quarter of the bust measurement, from the zip line again, quarter of the waist measurement, and then I connect both points together, and then I go sew two of the two pieces together. Here I am checking to be sure that I have my exact measurements, which is half, and then we are going to go join the two together on those lines, and then we join the shoulders as well. So I'm joining the skin tone net to the skin tone net, and then the lace piece to the lace piece. That way it's all clean at the end of the day. After joining the sides, I'm going to go ahead and trim the lower part and then reduce the seam allowances to about 1.5 to 2 inches, and then we can go ahead and also trim off the front neck, front armhole. There was no trimming in the beginning, as you would have noticed, so we're now going ahead to trim it so they are both the same. The same for this side. After that, you have your bustier with a deep yoke ready. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of this tutorial. I will be sharing how I made the sleeve to this very top in my next video. So if you're interested, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you do not miss it. Thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.